One game down, another to go here on ACC Network. Just under 10 minutes until tip-off there in Raleigh between Florida State and NC State. Wolfpack trying to bounce back after losing their last game, Monday night outing against Carolina, who we just watched right here on the network knock off Clemson there at Carmichael. Welcome in as we get you set for this game. We'll hang out with you for the next 10 minutes. I am Taylor Tannenbaum alongside Kelly Gramlich and Liz Kitley. We count down to tip-off there in Raleigh between Florida State and NC State. And in this game, we're looking for the Wolfpack to bounce back after their Monday night loss to Carolina. What would you like to see from them tonight, Liz?
I would love to see them play as a team. I think they were really lacking that against UNC's defense. And again, credit to UNC. They looked really good, really connected defensively. But NC State also played into that a little bit. They didn't move the ball very well. They played a lot of one-on-one, and they did not have success. But Florida State, they're going to have an opportunity to fix that, move the ball. Florida State gives up a lot of points, and I think they can put a lot up.
I want to see a lot from the Z's, Zoe and Zam. They need to show up and play.
Well, for Kitley, for Kelly, I'm TT. Let's send it out to Raleigh for this game.
Ladies, thanks very much, and welcome to the 2026 Play for K, benefiting the K-Yow Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation. And Coach Yao statue outside Reynolds Coliseum, and tonight we play on K-Yow courts. On this Thursday night, it is game 2 of our ACC women's basketball doubleheader here on ACC Network, presented by Ally. And from Reynolds Coliseum on the North Carolina State campus, our matchup, Florida State, the Seminoles, taking on the NC State Wolfpack. And we are happy you could spend part of your Thursday with us, along with former Knowles guard Angel Gray, out Mark Neely. We just saw North Carolina take down Clemson. You got a halftime score right now between Duke and Louisville, the 2 unbeatens in conference play. It's like the standings and bracketology are changing second by second.
Mark, it's not quite sweaty palm time, but it's definitely the sense of urgency that is heightened with only 7 regular season games left. And right now, you already mentioned it, 1 team will be undefeated in ACC play, and 9 teams are trying to prove to Charlie Crane why they should be one of them. It's going to be so much fun getting down to it.
It was really an emotional game here on Monday between Carolina and NC State, a game won by the Tar Heels. And it really kind of seems like how NC State goes is how Zoe Brooks goes.
Absolutely. For me, yes, I understand that Camille Pierre leads them in rebounds as well as points, but Zoe Brooks is the engine for this team. So much so that when she gets downhill, she looks like a freight train. I love her ability to get to the left side, but her extending the floor from 3 has been crucial, something they will need from her tonight. And on the other side, the first-year Knowles, Soleil Williams, doubling her averages in almost every category with the Knowles. I love how she takes it off the bounce of the rim. She cannot miss those opportunities. Coach asking more from the midi. She can extend the floor as well. A 3-level score, a big reason why the Knowles are second in the ACC in threes made.
All right, let's bring the house lights up. As we do, we get a good look at Coach Wes Moore in his 13th season here in Raleigh. And we are ready to roll from the Coliseum. Home team in white. Knowles wearing the garnet, and it is FSU that has the game's first possession. Soleil Williams coming off a huge game. Well, it was a Knowles loss their last time out. Bonner stopped there by Brooks. Panya Davis. First shot of the game goes up. It's off the mark from Green. Batted around and in the arms of Zam Jones.
I like the level of execution. That's what I'm going to be looking at for the Knowles to start the game. But on the other side, you already mentioned at the top how important these games are. NC State trying to prevent themselves from losing back-to-back games for the first time this season.
Brooks used the pick and roll with Pierre. The shot missed by Samuels. I mentioned that because we talked with Wes Moore, the head coach, earlier today, and he said, hey, in our loss against the Tar Heels, our screeners didn't roll. And they've got that figured out already on the first outfit of the game.
Don't you love when in play comes down to it and says, Coach, we actually executed for you. Wes Moore pleading to his bigs to use their strengths. Their strength is rolling and getting to the basket. They have absolutely phenomenal guard play, especially in Zoe Brooks, that can get downhill and create space for them to score in the paint.
There's a screen. Pierre rolls threes in from Zam Jones. And that opens the scoring. Well, another area Coach Moore wants to see improve is the Wolfpack defense. A good defense right there. A very contested shot.
I want to see more of Zoe Brooks as well as Zam Jones getting heated early. They were a combined 6 for 22 against North Carolina. That has to change here tonight.
Panya and Tilda down to the low post, and at the moment, Trieger unable to find the bucket.
The patience, waiting for the screen. You already mentioned the rolling to the basket, which makes Florida State gravitate towards the paint, freeing Zam Jones up for the three.
Zam Jones played all 40 minutes against UNC here on Monday night. Finished with 8 points. Here is Zam. Pocket pass blocked away by Green on the shot attempt by Pierre. Here's Shavers. He's trying to shake a bit of a shooting slump, and there's no shooting slump going on right now with Miss Soleil.
Soleil Williams, as we mentioned, coming off the game, 23 points, has knocked down 3 triples in that span as well. She just makes it look easy, and a big part of why Florida State has found success in their offense is the three. They need that tonight.
And they need a second and third score outside of Soleil. Green commits the foul. Zam Jones scores again, and an and one.
We mentioned just from a year ago, her confidence, her execution, her understanding the IQ of when and where to attack the rim. Zam Jones has been so impressive this season on just her maturity within the offense.
Zam has scored the first 6 points of the night for NC State. Shavers. Samuels goes over top of the Panya screen. Shot bounces off into Pierre's arms. Brooks wants to run it. Lost the dribble. Able to reclaim it and back it up to the foul line. Brooks, step back. It's on the way. Nothing to net.
For a second, Wes Moore looked away and shook his head. I don't know if he's ever pleased or could be even pleased more than what he's seeing right now from Zam Jones. She's on fire.
Knocked down all 9. Shavers needing that. She had gone 0 for her last 7 from beyond the arc in the last 2 games.
And that's after she knocked down 6 of them against SMU, but 6 for 10 for her career high.
Trieger trying to feed Pierre. And FSU thought they had a clean steal, but our baseline official, that's the lead official, Tiffany Bird, saw an FSU foul. It explains that to Green. And Green just picked up her second, so she's going to take an early seat on the bench for the Noles.
Which will bring in Allie Kubek. The senior was able to transfer in from Texas A&M. She has to find ways to be steady on the inside.
And Sam just drew the contact, this time from Bonner, and another FSU foul.
Bonner's first personal, third team foul.
The masked crusader, Zam Jones, she's got that face mask she continues to wear. What was it, the Louisville game, I think, where she took the contact to the face. She's been wearing that protective mask. And all she's done tonight is score the first 10 points of the game for the Pack.
I don't know if it's the mask or if it's pregame meal or just Wes Moore saying, I know who you could be and what you need to be for this team this season.
Well, I hope this comes through whatever screen you're watching this at home or wherever you may be, folks. But Zam Jones right now is playing out there with an attitude that you can feel and sense from courtside here.
Absolutely. You can just look into her eyes and understand that there's a sharp level of focus, laser sharp, understanding what the assignment needs to be.
Panya Davis wants to use the dribble. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Floated up. Bonner tried to kiss it in. Offensive board, but then tied up. Davis had part of that for FSU, but possession arrow gives it to the Wolfpack.
I love that Davis got her hand on it, but then again, Zam Jones just leaving her fingerprints on every aspect of this game. I talked about it earlier. She finished 3 for 11 against North Carolina in the loss. She's already 3 for 3. What a start for Jones.
Jones missed one, but there's Pierre. Can't get the putback. Samuels back out. Zam. Pass went off a couple of legs of FSU and stolen by Panya. Soleil thought seriously about it. Shavers even more so, but misses the 3. And it's saved by Kubek. Back down to Panya Davis. She's doubled. Pilots it up. A couple of opportunities there, but the goals could not find the rim.
NC State making it really difficult for Davis to find any type of clarity on the inside. And what a beautiful dish on the inside to Tilda Trieger.
I wasn't sure if that pass was blocked or on purpose. I think it was on purpose, and it found its intended target.
We'll wait for the stats to update to see exactly what they believe.
Potter chased by Zoe Brooks. Panya Davis 3.
I like the look from 3 for Panya Davis. She can extend the floor. However, I want her to relocate a little bit more behind her so it's an easier pass.
Trieger aggressively to the rim.
This is the area where we question at shoot-around. How can Florida State contain them in the paint? NC State actually outscored North Carolina for points in the paint, and that is a heavy emphasis for Wes Moore and the Wolfpack tonight.
Shaver kept the possession alive. A Kubek 3. Brooks brings it ahead again. She's looking ahead for Pierre. Crosses over, puts up the shot, and is fouled.
You think you're there, she proves you're wrong. Zoe Brooks is a one-woman show when she finds 2 feet in the paint.
I'll tell you what, NC State's acting like they're a team that got beat here on their home floor by their arch rival in their last game. They're possessed. ACC Women's Basketball is presented by Ally, the bank that's your ally. This is from halftime on Monday night. Very emotional. The celebration of cancer survivors. Tilda Trieger's Aunt Maria was part of it. That's 21 to 25 years survivors. It was really emotional. 25 plus years. All part of a special Monday night. Of course, our own Debbie Antonelli was a big part of that as well, emceeing the halftime as well. You can support the K-Yow Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation for Cancer Research. You can donate at kyow.com. It was a big deal for her Aunt Maria to come out here and lead the 15-year cancer survivors onto the floor.
And it was also here tonight. I mean, you get emotional all over again just thinking about the magnitude of that game and why you do it. And understanding how you donate, how you support, how you show up for others so they can continue to have the resources at their fingertips to get screenings, to have this research, to have all the different things to just improve the numbers. And hopefully, at some point, we'll see a floor full of survivors. Yes. 25 plus years.
And hopefully an end to cancer and breast cancer. They didn't get it over in time. Third turnover for FSU. Right now you have NC State on a 9-0 run. Opened up a 12-point lead.
That is not the way you want to come out of a break for Florida State, but I tell you what, if you're just joining us, it's because of Zamaria Jones, who actually has outscored Florida State herself. She has 12, they have 6. She could not be stopped, starting 3 for 3 from the field.
Pierre turns, fires with 2 on the shot clock. It skips off. Avery Treadwell, number 32, is checked in for FSU. Shavers 3 from the corner won't go. And Trieger elects to let Pierre have that rebound.
I like the look up the floor by Soleil Williams, trying to find Treadwell in the corner.
And a travel.
Now the court for the Seminoles, number 12, Emma Rich.
Shavers will come out for FSU. You see Kaishi Lunin check in for NC State during that last timeout. FSU, by the way, just 2 of 11 from the field to start this game. There's 2 made field goals, both threes. And once again, the pressure in the backcourt. That's dangerous. Pierre steals. They got a 3-on-1. Pierre dumps it underneath, put up by Brooks, and she is fouled. And Sydney Bowles went flying by and picked up the personal.
High-level execution on the defensive side, something that Westmore said, we have got to improve. The first thing that he said to us at shoot-around was, my, our offense, it could be better. We've had spurts where we have been better in the latter part of the season. However, defensively, we've got to improve, and so far we've seen that jump tonight. And on the other side for Florida State, they're just playing a step slow. They understand that the full court press is going to be there, so I would like to see more help in just moving side to side, having someone in the middle.
More pressure, more problems. Been FSU fortunate. It was touched last by NC State. That's going to take Soleil out of the game. It's a pretty good Coach Wyckoff.
She has to be the person that steadies the ship for Florida State. Right now, the two players that scored the field goals for Florida State are right now on the bench. Who else can step up?
Well, 3 left corner, good. And it's knocked down by Ali Kubek. Knocks down her 17th made 3 of the season.
Huge for her, a big boost for them as well. And we know from her previous stop at Maryland that she is very good at knocking down the 3.
Trigger trying to answer. Offensive board, Pierre in the putback.
3 consecutive double-doubles is what Camille Pierre is coming into this game with. You have got to find a body for her on the glass.
She went for a team high 14 points and 15 rebounds against North Carolina on Monday. Everybody kind of catching their breath now here with a little under 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. That's off of FSU. We always sit there and wonder, how's the game going to start? Because it's so important, especially if you're a team that's on the road like FSU. And we were kind of questioning, like, how is NC State going to start this game? Oh, you could see that coming from a mile away. As soon as she turned her back on Zoe, she's like, you don't do that to me.
The one thing that Westmore turned to Zoe Brooks that shoot around and said, I want you guys to have fun. Doesn't it look like she's having fun right now?
It's been a blast for NC State the first 8 minutes of this game. FSU needs to do something to try to quell that. They're trying to find an answer. Soleil's coming back to the scorer's table for the Noel. There's a little bump. Shot clock's at 4. Bonner's going to have to do something with it from the free throw line. Fighting for it underneath. They're going to say a tie-up. Treadwell was able to get enough of that to get the held ball.
I mean, 101. Never have your complete back to the inbounder, especially if they're as crafty as Zoe Brooks, who gets another easy 2.
So Zan Jones a dozen. Zoe with 6. Krieger has 4. Pierre, by the way, already has 6 rebounds.
What?
Yeah. 6 boards. They've missed 8 shots, and she's rebounded most of the misses. Treadwell, that's the position. That's what Florida State needs right there. It's the production in the paint.
Yeah, they've been trying to switch out a couple of people on the inside, especially with the length that NC State has. You see Manny Cox that's on the outside. She can extend the floor, but it's mostly Camille Pierre until the trigger.
Kaishi Lunin from the corner.
Like to see her get going. She had some incredible moves a game ago on this floor. Known to put it off the deck, but yes, can knock down the 3.
Long 2. Williams can't hit. Rebounded on the run. Zam taking a look around. Samuels. Oh, what a feed to Pierre. Oh, then she collided with Treadwell. Samuels quickly gets up. Treadwell has not.
And immediately started grabbing at her face. Just good to see her pop back up.
She does get to her feet. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. A very animated FSU head coach, Brooke Wyckoff, during this quick little 30-second injury timeout. You see what FSU's been up against. Have not shot the ball well to start, and NC State is clicking in about every facet.
They're quicker to the ball. They're just quicker off the rim, tracking the ball down. Defensively, they're anticipating. They're everywhere on the floor, and right now, they also have had some spurts where they found some key buckets, but collectively, there has to be a different energy, a different sense of urgency, trying to get and pick up a huge win on the road.
Offensive foul called on Soleil Williams as Pierre took the charge.
Seminoles foul number 15.
And that's 2 on Soleil.
Will disrupt the flow offensively for the Noles. And yeah, the contact there, the block, she tried to avoid it on the side step.
Now FSU's leading scorers on the bench with 2 fouls. Inside the final minute of the first quarter. Cox is off the bench and gets into the party with a Matty 3.
NC State has taken out a page of Florida State's book, which is being able to knock down the outside shot. This is a team that is second in the ACC in threes made, but they just can't get anything off.
Lunin takes it to the rim and scores. FSU, they can inbound, they can get the final shot here, but too much time's ticking off the clock. And it's going to have to take something from just inside midcourt. And a rough first quarter on the road for FSU, but NC State has rebounded in the first quarter to a 34-11 lead at the end of one. Tough first quarter for Florida State. They had 4 made baskets, 6 turnovers. Got called for 6 fouls, 2 of those on Soleil and 2 on Green, so both foul issues for those 2 ladies. Not only did NC State shoot lights out, but they didn't commit a team foul in that first quarter. Trieger gets positioned down low to lay it in, and NC State picks up where they left off here in quarter 2. They scored 34 in the first. Those points in a quarter for them this year since they scored 32 in the third quarter at Wake Forest. Green's in there playing with 2 fouls, and Treadwell's provided a little bit of a spark here off the bench for FSU as she gets fouled to go to the line.
And they need more of that. I love her length on the inside. She has more of an emphasis there right now, trying to find both numbers for her with knowing what's needed on the paint. So that's something that Florida State can continue to build on. However, as you mentioned, the most points scored in a quarter for NC State after the first. 6 different players have scored for them already. The balance in which Westmore has in this ball game has been really fun to watch.
Treadwell sinks the second. 36-13. Jones. Can't leave her open tonight.
Or any night.
She's got 15.
I mean, my goodness.
And what was it? She scored the first 9 or 10 of the game?
She scored the first 9, I do believe. But you know better than I.
John Badry says it was 10, so we'll go with him.
Well, he's the greatest, so I absolutely will defer to him.
Shavers debating. Pulls up. Yeah, interesting shot. Got that to bank in.
And look at how NC State is also playing Shavers. Has knocked down the most threes for Florida State, so it's baiting her to put the ball on the floor.
Nice pass. A couple of nice passes, but that Trieger gets chased out of the paint. Throws it to the corner, and a wide open look there for Quigley. First shot for Devin Quigley tonight.
That's the type of defensive series that Coach Brook wants to see from Florida State, but you can't cough it up on the other side.
Jones spots up another 3. And a Treadwell rebound and reach there by Trieger. Or first.
Just battling underneath. Trying to get an extra opportunity underneath, but too far away from the goal. You want to make sure that you keep her on the floor.
So you got Soleil and Green each playing with 2 fouls here early in the second quarter for Florida State. Green spinning on that left pivot foot, takes that little extension, missed the shot, and then Treadwell was there for the rebound, and as soon as she came up with that board, she took a whack from Lunan.
NC State foul has been charged to number 11, Manny Cox.
Let's take a look at Wednesday night's ACC Network men's basketball doubleheader. Number 20 Clemson hosts Virginia Tech, starting us off at 7 Eastern. And Wake Forest squares off against Georgia Tech on the Camas Pavilion. And like everything else, both those games also available on the ESPN app. Men's doubleheader coming up on Wednesday night. 6 points here for Treadwell off the bench for FSU.
Well, she has to step up right now. You already mentioned Soleil Williams, that is currently on the bench sitting, or no, she's on the floor now with 2 fouls. So that's something that she's also guarding Zamaria Jones. She has to be careful, and they call her for the foul there.
You couldn't even get it out of your mouth, and she commits her 3rd foul.
I tried to. And that is a very unfortunate, a big gamble as well for Florida State to have her on the floor and remains on the floor. But that's how important she is, and you can see immediately they switched up the defensive assignment for her with Shavers now on Jones and her on Quigley.
That leaves Cox open. She hit one earlier when she came in the game. This is that 3 attempt that Trigger touched it last, trying to save it. Probably should have let that go, but it's tough to fight those instincts. Brooks is going to check in. Cox comes out. Pierre's come back in, and Lunan also take a seat for NC State. So playing with 3 fouls here with over 7 minutes to go in the first half, and now Treadwell came crashing in, and this time she picks up the foul. She's been the recipient of a couple tonight. Now she actually gives one.
Yeah, her activity on the floor so far has been really elite for Florida State. She's found ways to actually put more pressure on the defense for NC State, and she's knocked down 4 free throws already, the only player for Florida State to get to the free throw line.
Pierre hands off to Quigley.
They have to figure out how to get Soleil Williams out of the paint against Pierre.
And that's immediately where the ball went.
It's the communication. It's also the execution for Zoe Brooks and understanding where her big is in the paint and demanding the ball on the inside is huge for Pierre.
Shavers. Couldn't get it to fall. Did a nice job getting her shot. Just couldn't finish it. Brooks deflected. Who touched that? Oh, they're going to say, wait, we're going to have some help. I think Tiffany Bird's going to come over. They're going to say, yeah, it's going to stay with the Wolfpack. Good communication between the officials.
Everybody's just communicating well.
Yeah.
Communicating well. It's nice when you can see a smile on the face of the officials.
Tiffany Bird, Billy Smith, Chuck Gonzalez, our officiating crew. Well, NC State didn't have any fouls in the first quarter, and suddenly they've got 4 here in the first, not quite 4 minutes.
And the difference is there's a different level of, I guess, want to. A lot of coaches will say, what is your want to level? With trying to get the box out, trying to be more physical on the glass. Florida State, even though coming in with this deficit, you can't look at the score. You have to find ways to be more aggressive in every category.
Soleil tries another one. Somehow almost went in. Skipped over to Quigley. She wants to use the dribble. Tipped around, it's loose, and Soleil Williams grabs it for FSU. Soleil stops, pops. Short off the front rim, long rebound, run down by Green.
Soleil Williams trying to get some type of points in a hurry. But Florida State still shooting 22% from the floor, and giving up easy buckets to Zoe Brooks is a recipe for disaster.
She has 8 in her 10 minutes. FSU's missed their last 6 from the field, make it 7. But Soleil at least got a shot at the rim. 10 rebounds now for Pierre already in this game.
Sam Jones.
You don't need to tell me who just shot that ball.
There's no need to. Right now, the difference between the Wolfpack and the Noles are playing one-on-one basketball, trying to, and desperate to find some type of offense. On the other side, the Wolfpack are just playing connected and within their roles.
The lone freshman on the team for FSU, Burton, in the game. Gets her first shot off. Green keeps it alive. But then the shot clock expired because the Girton shot didn't hit the rim. That's the 9th turnover. All right, timeout. 4:35 left, first half. What a big half so far for the Wolfpack in Raleigh.
And now it's time for Food Lions, food for thought. And how about this? Sam Jones has been eating in this game. I believe 4 for 5 now from 3 has knocked it down. The difference in what we're seeing, the poise, the consistency, the swag. Yes, get somebody on the phone because no one has been able to stop her yet. She said she feels like Batman in the mask. It's just better to just feel like Sam Jones. She's been on fire. 8 points against North Carolina. A huge boost with 18 already and 4 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, from what I understand, Batman didn't really have a good jump shot, so I'd go with Zams. So there was some question about whether Girton's shot hit the rim or not, and they went back and looked. It did. So Florida State's going to get possession here out of the timeout. Yeah, it definitely hit the rim. And you'll notice that the shot clock did not reset. It should have. So they corrected that. Florida State keeps possession. Or gets possession back, and Bonner now with possession. Shot clock is at 5. That's a 3 that's missed by Ali Kubek.
A good box out by Mallory Collier. Hasn't played since the Wake Forest game, but getting big minutes here. Showing why she should be on the floor.
Pierre weaved her way between Davis and Kubek. It's foul. Who are they going to give that one to? A push. On to Davis.
Her first, third team foul.
Just over 4 minutes left in this first half. NC State 16 of 29 from the field. Shoot 55%. Six different Wolfpack players have scored. 5 have a rebound. 5 have an assist. It's that second free throw to go down. Pierre was kind of like, oh, okay, I'll take that one.
I'll take it, of course.
He's got 7 points. And 10 rebounds under 13 minutes. Sam Jones. She's just not taking shots tonight, folks. She's doing it all on the floor.
And I love every aspect of it. First of all, you want to clip that off for anybody that you're trying to teach anything defense and anticipating being in the passing lane. You don't go in with the inside hand or the inside hand. It's the outside trying to deflect so you have space to get another look on the end. I mean, she's doing it all tonight.
We got 10 to shoot here.
Waiting for a better shot.
And that's been a good shot for Jones all night, but off the right side. Bonner's going to run it ahead for the Noles.
Seen a couple of different variations of defense for the Wolfpack, back in their man-to-man, but they were baiting to see what they can get for Florida State early in the game zone.
Sandals lost the handle. A Risch in the game. Emma Risch. Brooks almost stole that. Open 3, left corner. Second one for Ali Kubek.
Ali Kubek missed a couple of games due to injury, especially that SMU game, but her presence on the floor, she can extend. She's a physical body on the inside. She's come up with some big buckets for them. Can they continue in that area?
Kicked off for Pierre. Quebec again. Can she get her third? Short. It was on line, but just didn't get enough on it. Pierre wants it. Brooks will feed her. A frustrated Pierre behind the play. They got numbers here. For the first time, you got NC State looking a little bit gassed.
I was going to say the same thing. Zoe Brooks was jogging down, trying to just see when they can get some stops to play. But right now, the Noles playing with an extra burst with a lot of room to make up.
Bucket by Davis, her first of the game. Brooks takes the hit, playing on, and Florida State will try to cut into this deficit a little more. Oh, but there's Zan once again. Doesn't play like she's listed at 5'7". That may be a generous estimation.
I'll give her the 5'7". I'll give it to her.
I said maybe. I didn't say it was a definite.
Well, I'm not saying, I didn't say shoes on or shoes off, but I'll give that to her.
She plays with her shoes on, so I should go with that.
You take that into account.
Rish will take it out on the baseline. Davis. Couple of dribbles. Now a little juice. Here comes Zane Jones. Inside the final minute and a half of the first half. A call from our baseline official, and that's going against NC State.
Yeah, just some extra activity underneath for Trieger, trying to see if she can get the right spot on the floor. And so the displacement for her ends up in a foul.
Second foul on Trieger. It brings freshman Adelaide Jernigan in the game for NC State now. And off to Rish. Definitely got the range. The freshman Jernigan stays with her, defends it well. And that shot well off from Rish. Jones running, Jernigan up ahead. Here's the shot from Zan. Couldn't get it to crawl over the rim, but is there to clean up her own miss. And she has 20 points in the first half.
20 points in the first half. She had the first 10, did not drop off in the second quarter. This is called consistency. One of the best performances I've seen from Demaria Jones.
Another steal, and Noonan gets it to the middle of the floor. Cox fires to the corner. The freshman launches. Got it! Adelaide Jernigan, her fifth made three of her young career.
Hasn't scored in the last two games, gets an opportunity and says, I'll square up for you. Knocks it down from the corner and a beautiful pass from Cox.
Cox the
Everybody is
foul.
getting a piece of the pie.
Yes. Jernigan's from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. She was the #1 recruit out of this state. Two-time state champion at Bishop McGuinness. Played tennis in high school as well. I like players who were dual sport athletes through high school. It's just me talking. You don't need to play one sport all the way through high school.
So you would love Tilda Trieger, where she did ice hockey, gymnastics, and tennis. So where does she stack up?
The Scandinavians love those winter sports, I tell you. What a half. Not only for Zam Jones, but for NC State. Zam leads the way with 20, and NC State up 52-23. Wow. On this play for K game, NC State showing up here in the first half. 52-23. Let's send it to the studio. Taylor Tannenbaum, Kelly Gramlich, Liz Kitley. Ladies, the Pack were on fire in the first half.
There's a lot of adjectives you could use to describe NC State right now. Taylor, Kelly Gramlich, Liz Kitley. All right, we were wondering how would NC State respond after falling short at home to North Carolina, their arch rival, on Monday. I would say they've responded well, dominating Florida State in the first half. Kelly?
I said the Z's had to show up, and this is what I meant.
Yeah.
Zam Jones with 20 points in the first half. Zoe Brooks also with 8. So Zoe and Zam have outscored Florida State by themselves. This is what makes NC State great, when these guards are clicking, when Zam Jones is scoring the basketball at this elite rate. That's when NC State can be really good.
Absolutely. I think they knew coming in, Florida State is giving up almost 80 points per game in conference play. They knew that they were going to have an opportunity to put the ball up. They were both 3 for 11 in their last game, but not performing like that this game.
Here you see the splits for Zam Jones. Last game, only 8 points against Carolina. Tonight, you already mentioned the 20 points in the first half alone. They came out on fire. What would you like to see continue? I don't know how long Wes Moore keeps the starters out there in the second half. I'd assume he wants to see them play and build on this lead, but what more would you like to see?
Okay, if we're gonna pick things to work
Let's
on,
nitpick.
since we have some room to work with here. Have you guys watched Destiny Lunan? She is such an impressive guard for NC State. I would love for her to continue to get some minutes, get some reps against Florida State, because I think she's going to be really good for them down the line.
Build your bench in a game like this. Not saying the game's completely over, but it's a bit out of hand, to your point, Liz. Build your bench. Let some of these young players play. Adelaide Jernigan just hit a 3. And Destiny Lunan, her nickname, Kai She, because her dad wants her to be the female version of Kyrie. I know that because I did an NC State game. Incredible.
I had
no idea.
We have to think of some good. Do you have a nickname? What's your nickname?
We'll work on that.
The GOAT?
The GOAT, yeah. That's what they say. All right, going on right now in Raleigh, it is total domination for NC State because the Z's have shown up to play. That's for sure. Nearly a 30-point lead for the Wolfpack. Back with more after the break.
Yeah, for me, NC State definitely jumps off because they're, we talk about them not being consistent, not having consistent guard play, but they're still 8-3 and very much in talks to get that double bye in the tournament, and then who knows?
Yeah, that double bye is coveted. Again, 1, 2, 3, and 4 spots up for grabs, so that will be the key as we count down to the March Madness. Madness for Zam Jones in the first half for NC State. Just a couple of her 20 points in the first half. It is a runaway for the Wolfpack. Can they hold on to it against Florida State there in Raleigh? Enjoy the second half. We'll see you after on Nothing But Net.
We welcome you back to the 2026 Play for K, benefiting the K Out Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And the Coach Out statue outside Reynolds Coliseum here. And ACC women's basketball presented by Allies. We get ready for the start of the second half. Our halftime entertainment, that's Perch, the Dauntless duo, John, and that's Angela. And yes, she volunteered to do that at halftime. And it was magnificent in slow motion, and it was magnificent watching it in real time. We're watching a lot of stuff in real time right now. We got this going, we got the Dauntless duo, we got the end of the Duke-Louisville game. There's a lot of balls in the air here on this Thursday night with Angela Gray and Mark Neely. One thing we know for sure, NC State was ready to play. 20 from Zam in that first half with 4 threes.
I think just the understanding of what was on the line. You do not want to drop back-to-back games, especially at home. Zam Jones has been on fire. She came out intense, and she has given it to you in every category. You just saw her finish at the rim. She knocked down 4 threes in the first half. Her level of focus has just been remarkable, but she's brought others with her. We're showing how well she's done on the offensive end defensively. She's gotten deflection. She's been in the right space for charges. She's done everything so well. We'll see how she can carry it over in the second half.
Let's see how Florida State responds to start the second half. Shavers threes off the front rim, rebounded by Brooks. Long outlet pass Samuels, but Shavers able to get back and take it away.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of Jasmine Shavers in the first half. We had 2 players that were dealing with some foul trouble, including Soleil Williams, who has 3.
Got a clean look there, but missed the 3. So Duke has finished off the win against Louisville. So it is the Blue Devils that remain the only unbeaten team in conference play.
And a huge congrats to Carol Lawson, her staff, and this team. And after dropping the 3 in a row against some incredible teams, UCLA, South Carolina, LSU, proves that they are not the same team. They were battle-tested early, and I remember what Carol Lawson said about her team. She said, we're not rattled, we're unfazed. We're optimistic about what we can show, what we can be, and we're seeing it here in February.
So that huge game has gone final. So Treadwell now with 8 points. She leads FSU. She has the first bucket of the half. Samuels missed, but Pierre another rebound. Her 12th of the game. Ball gets loose again. Shavers on the deck. Was trying to push Pierre's arm away. Like, nah, I don't want you to have any part of this. Did get a timeout. So we get a quick timeout here with about a minute and a half gone here in the third quarter. Well, all three women's teams here in the Triangle looking for wins tonight. 2 already have. You see Duke's 1-point win over Louisville. That's the headliner right now in the ACC. But Heels won again. They beat Clemson. That's 6 straight for UNC. And Syracuse at 19-4 and 9-3 in conference. I want to say they're kind of flying under the radar for Coach Jack. But they've been great.
If you have not had eyes on Syracuse and Uche Azoje, the freshman who has been lights out for them, you are missing a treat. They have some transfers that have come in, have been phenomenal for her squad, including Layla Filia. But I think it's been really cool to see them put together a team where they have been remarkable in the ACC standings. Coming in, I do believe they were in 3rd.
You know, one of the early games for Duke in conference play was at Syracuse, and they won that game going away, but it was really because they got Uche in early foul trouble, and that completely changed the complexion of that game. She was never a factor. Trigger 3. Shavers runs down the long rebound.
There's just been a lot of very impressive teams. To me, in ACC play is a nice dish on the inside to Treadwell. She had a very impressive first half as well off the bench with the 6 early points. Hopefully they can get a little bit more of that out of her in the second half. But going back just to the overall look of what it looks like in the ACC, I mean, Duke playing phenomenal basketball at this point. Louisville drops their first game in ACC play. Syracuse right behind them, and it's like an 8-3 cluster of teams.
Well, NC State's going to use the timeouts, but it's going to take us to another timeout. We're still early here in this second half in Raleigh. Hey, we have a women's hoops triple header for you this Sunday here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. It starts with this NC State team in Blacksburg against Virginia Tech at noon. Then it's North Carolina taking on Wake Forest. And at 6 Eastern, it's Louisville and Syracuse. That's going to be a fun matchup to close out a triple header on Sunday. You and I will have that first game. As you look at the bracketology with Charlie Cream, and Louisville's still a solid 2 seed. That's going to be a big game in Blacksburg for Virginia Tech. That would be a big win for them if they can get it at home against this NC State team.
I've said so much about how impressive Syracuse has been. We've also mentioned how Clemson is that last foreign that we saw for Charlie Cream as well. But Virginia Tech playing incredible basketball, 8-3 right now in conference play. I know they have a big one with Notre Dame, but I'm excited to see them. I do believe we're on the call. We're still on the call, right?
Nobody's changed that.
We haven't changed that, right? Great. Well, I'm excited to see this matchup with them against NC State.
They better not. We better be there on Sunday.
We need to be there. Excited to be in Blacksburg.
I'm not going to open any emails, my ESPN bosses. We're going to show up there.
It's been real touch and go these last 2 weeks.
The weather's been heck. There's somebody that's been the spark. Treadwell has scored 10 and hasn't missed a shot. 3 of 3 from the field. She also hit her first 4 free throws before missing a couple. But there's a block by Green. And obviously, it's a deep hole to dig out of for Florida State. We're starting to show a little bit of life here. Soleil got bumped. Yeah, that had to be a foul at some point.
A lot of contact there.
She was completely displaced. I don't think there was any doubt about that.
Again, once she gets to the left side of the floor, just a little late for Pierre. Tried to see if she could set up, but it was the wrong angle. Just needs to slide a little bit more and a little earlier.
The second on Pierre. Maury Gurton, the freshman, back in the game. Had some time in the first half as well. Williams, bounce pass, Treadwell, ball fake. Shavers.
Great help defense by Pierre just to clog up the gap so she had no room to get to the bucket.
Williams scores with a shot clock at 1.
Not giving up and not settling for an outside shot. Nice take and movement by Soleil.
She averages a team best 15 per game. She has 5 points now after that bucket. NC State's only picked up one score, one bucket in this third quarter. It's going to stay with the Wolfpack.
Devin Quigley now on the court for the Wolfpack.
NC State, if you're just joining us, scored 34 points in the first quarter, most for them in a quarter. You know, baseline out of bounds, you know, Wes Moore is going to stop something like that, or you get an easy look.
There are a few times as a coach where your head just drops, and it's usually on those out of bounds plays underneath where you just find ways where the communication is there. You have to be set.
Quigley. Devin shoots, Devin scores. The New Jersey native with her first bucket.
Another player who was a multi-sport athlete. I like that.
I do like that.
Athlete.
Played soccer and volleyball as well in high school. Burton, nice adjustment. Treadwell. Third chance goes for Green.
Look at the difference in how Florida State is executing off of second, third chance opportunities. And that's where, for NC State, the improvement has to be made. A stellar first half. For the Wolfpack, how can they put 40 minutes together where we get that same level of intensity?
Brooks launches, around it out. Trigger went over the back of Treadwell. And that's her third.
It's effort. You missed the first one, you find yourself in a position where you just continue. Tap it to yourself, whatever you need to do to get another bucket. Nice job by Green, not giving up on the play, but on the other side, Trigger as well, putting herself in a position. But Florida State outworking on the glass.
You know, from that angle, it gave me a little different view of the play. This crowd hasn't had much to boo about tonight, so use that opportunity there. But Treadwell, 12 points off the bench in her 15 minutes, and she has 7 rebounds.
The thing that we said with Coach Wyckoff at shoot-around was Avery Treadwell is coming along at the right time. She is showing why her minutes on the floor are important. We have not seen a lot of Panya Davis on the floor in the second half as well. The pace and the level of effort on the rim changes with her on the floor.
You know, you brought up something that I want to know why Davis has only played 10 minutes. She does, you know, it's not foul trouble. 7-0 run here for Florida State. Tough shot. Wow. With that kind of night for Zam now with 22. Shavers crashed into Pierre, falls down, and Camille takes it up the floor. Jones. He's got a quarter of 100 here with 3:19 to go in the third quarter.
I want to know who's on the line. It might be 911 because they need a lot of help trying to contain her everywhere on the floor.
Kicked off the heel. I believe Zam Jones' career high is 26. And that was in the OU game this year. So she is right on the cusp of that.
Yeah. 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists that she had in that ball game. And go figure that she's putting up numbers where I would not be surprised if she finished with 40.
That was back on December 3rd, and that's the game that falls in the category for NC State of a close one that got away. They lost in overtime at OU, who was ranked 9th at the time.
That's been the story for NC State, how they find themselves executing in close games and not a good
Treadwell didn't like the look of that. She's been having such a good night, a great night. She's walking off, as you see, on her own power, but I don't know if she twisted the leg, the ankle, or what, but she immediately reacted. Burton almost got it to go. Davis is in there now for FSU, but Burton took some contact that knocked her to the deck.
Wolfpack number 0.
First one on Quigley. Brooks got a short rest. She's going to take Jones's place. So Jones just 1 point shy of a career high. Takes a breather with 2.5 minutes to go in the quarter. Catch and shoot 3. Tatum Green with her second basket of the night. That one goes for the trifecta.
And that's what I like about what Florida State has done in the third quarter. They cannot be rattled. Yes, they have a hole that they have to dig out of because of the deficit being down by 30 points in the first half. However, even with Avery Treadwell going off the floor, hopefully she's okay. How does that energy continue to go up?
Brooks missed on a 3 attempt. Who touched that last? It's going to stay at this end. Brooks has put up 8. 2 of 6 from the field in her 20 minutes. Again, she was 3 of 11 from the field in the North Carolina game here on Monday, and I think even she would admit, not her best game in that rivalry matchup.
Absolutely. I mean, she didn't, when you need to be the answer. Where I was more concerned is her not getting a bucket in the fourth quarter. However, it's the things that she does well, creating buckets for everyone else. Janet Samuels had some really good looks. Kai-Shi Lunin had a huge finish in the paint. There were other players that were able to get things going, including Camille Pierre with 6 points in the fourth quarter. So as much as I want to look to her to be the answer all the time, we have to credit Wes Moore for the balance that he's been able to establish on his team.
Yeah, you make a great point with Zoe Brooks. She doesn't have to score her normal 15 to 20 every night, because if you look further down the stat sheet, you're going to see some areas where she makes a huge difference. Just keeping it alive. Shavers 3. And Cox rebound. A collision. Lunin lost it. Shavers takes it in to lay it up.
Down but not done. You have to finish with heart, too. You talk about the fight. You talk about the respect factor. So back-to-back turnovers for Lunin. Can Florida State convert?
And then Shavers got it taken away by Cox.
Lunin gets up visibly shaken up.
Brooks picks up the speed, gets into Rish's area, and then called for the foul. Yeah, this has been Florida State's best quarter. I know there's a minute 12 left in the third quarter, but this has been their best full close to 10 minutes so far tonight.
Yeah, they've outscored them 18-14 in the third quarter. There was a different level of fight. Honestly, you come on the road, you understand what's at stake. You just have to find ways to string together wins in some effort. Coming off of a tough loss to Clemson, there has to be a challenge amongst the group. And we saw Brooke Wyckoff really challenging her team after that first time out. Who do you want to be? What are you trying to establish? How do we want to walk away from this arena?
It is a proud program that's made the last 12 NCAA tournaments in a row, 19 of what, the last 20. And barring going to Duluth, Georgia and winning the whole thing, they'll miss this year. And it's out to NC State. You know, for them to make some kind of run here, not only in this game, but I'm thinking more towards the end of the season, to me, Tanya Davis has to be a bigger part of that.
Yeah, she absolutely does. I mean, we talked about her numbers that have been different for her in the last 5 games. She's been huge, averaging close, or the last 3 games rather, has averaged close to a double-double. We have not been able to see that output tonight.
Got the rejection defensively on that last sequence there.
Actually leads the team in blocks. This has not been the night for Soleil, but that's what we're asking
Right
for.
on cue. That's exactly what we're looking for from Tanya Davis. A rebound, put back, and score. She has 4 points. And the final possession here of the third quarter. For a career high, didn't get it. Oh! Quigley! And that came after the horn. No bucket for Brooks. And FSU does outscore NC State 2016 in that third quarter, but NC State leads big as we head to the fourth in Raleigh.
Coach K, I believe one person can spark lasting change.
Together, through Play for K, we're turning that belief into a movement.
Powered by the impact of one more.
One more woman screened.
One more breakthrough in research.
One more bell rung.
You can be that one more that makes a change in a life.
Support the KYAL Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation.
Donate at kyal.com.
Coach K.L. taught us that one more moment of courage can change the game. That spirit fuels the fight against cancer today. When each of us gives one more gift, one more dollar, one more step, we expand access to screenings, care, and research that saves women's lives.
And we start the fourth quarter here in Raleigh. NC State ball. NC State only scored 8 points in the third quarter in the loss Monday to UNC. And that turned out to be a one-possession game at the end. They outscored in the third quarter here tonight. Shot clock's to 2 and 1 as Burton came away with it. Shot clock expires.
Florida State just 3 points shy of eclipsing the amount of points they had in the first half compared to what they had in the third quarter. Just a different look for them. Obviously, it's going to be a challenge for NC State. How do you want to be and play with the big lead, especially at home? But that sense of urgency and what we saw from the fight, being upset too with how the results were against their rival North Carolina, that cannot fade for them.
Zolich picked up her first foul. Coach, I'm sure not crazy about how the third quarter went down there. Even though the first half was about as good as you could expect. Well, the reason the crowd's yelling is if there's a missed free throw here, they all get to eat some sandwiches. And Tatum Green says, no Chick-fil-A for you for that.
Unfortunate. Look, even the Wolf. Oh, that's awesome.
Zoe off balance scores.
Again, when she gets to the left side of the floor, she has a canny ability of just getting a body on you, taking some contact, but still finishing.
Green rebounds. Davis. Wow. Sam's doing everything tonight. Jones took it away. Pass was a little high, and who touched it last? Wait. He says, no, my bad. I'm going to correct this. It's going this way.
That almost came out of the half zip.
You know, sometimes if you're an official, you just point in the wrong direction and you immediately realize it, like, wait a minute.
No one's perfect.
Yeah, no.
And that's fine.
It's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Brooke Wyckoff thinks that we need to check the clock here. So they're going to take a timeout. All right. Well, the crowd dreams of chicken sandwiches they didn't get. We'll be back in a moment. Well, head coach of Florida State, Brooke Wyckoff, wanted to challenge the call on the floor that it was NC State ball.
After review, the out-of-bounds call has been confirmed. The ball last touch off the leg of Florida State. Florida State will be charged a timeout, and NC State will be inbounding on the end line.
So losing the appeal because of this angle. Right here, you can see it going off the leg. No one reaches for it for a final touch going out of bounds. So as she mentioned, loses the timeout and stays with NC State. I think Jones might have had the matchup she wanted. You can tell out of the timeout, the emphasis getting it on the inside, and Panya Davis doing what she does best for Florida State, leading the team in blocks.
Mallory Collier had her shot blocked. One and done after the wrist miss. Well off from Zam Jones that time, but Collier keeps it alive. One dribble and scores.
That's all power. I mean, that power dribble almost moved me out of my seat.
Where you going? Where you going?
Green. Brooks, long two. Got it. Seven and a half minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Long that time from Burton. Ooh, apparently Quigley either bounced it off the baseline or stepped on the baseline.
Well, as they try to figure out what's going on that end, can we please revisit the, well, I guess we will say here.
I think she stepped on the baseline.
Tiptoeing through the, that was a hard call to make.
Treadwell is back in the game. That's a good sign. She's played well tonight. Had to come off the floor, but then had her right ankle retaped. Shot clock at 3. Collier holds her ground. And Treadwell, a genuine reaction. I was thinking she might have an and one, but instead of foul on Mallory Collier and 2 free throws.
I tell you what, Mallory Collier is showing me something. The junior out of Millington, Tennessee. We mentioned that she hasn't played since the Wake Forest game, but it's how you can get other players a breather. And it's a different look, the power that she has underneath, and she does not think that that was a foul on that second attempt. Uh-oh, is Chicken on the line again?
It is. It's the fourth quarter. And the loudest cheer of the night didn't come from a 34-point first quarter. It came because they're going to be eating chicken later here.
Now, do we qualify for that as well? Do we get to show our credentials?
I'm not sure. But that cheer was deafening. Yeah. Green. And Rish. It's down to 3. Soleil's going to have to put it up. So many possessions in just like that for Florida State. Oh, wait a minute. She wants to see if the shot clock expired. I didn't think there was any question that he got it off in time.
I think it was close. So they do want to take a look at it.
Congratulations, Wolfpack fans.
But I do believe that she got it off on time.
Because the crowd's already reacted to it.
Prior to zeros on the shot
No,
clock.
it's out of
Oh,
her
that's good.
hands.
That's
Yeah,
good.
it's absolutely out of her hands. This should be a quick review. But again, just... Are you still thinking about Chick-fil-A?
No, I'm not. I'm thinking of Brooke Wyckoff's reaction when the lead official, Tiffany Bird, wanted to look at this. I know what went through Brooke's mind. It's like, come on, it's a 30-point game. Let's just play on here.
After review, the ball was released with .2 on the shot clock.
All right.
The basket scores. It's going to be NC State ball on the end line.
Ms. Bird is very thorough with her announcements.
Yes,
she
absolutely.
doesn't miss any details.
And Billy Smith coming over to us saying, yeah, it's good. I think even in that, again, you just want to forget what's on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
What's the type of momentum we're building and things like that can cause you to
And that's
just
what Brooks
take
is
a
like.
sigh.
We just got a bucket late in the shot clock. Let us play.
Yes.
Brooks a little loose with the dribble. Green almost took it. Collier got a touch. I want to see her get some more touches. She's been fun with the ball here since she's been in the game.
Yeah, she's absolutely proven her worth.
Rish is looking around like, what happened there? As hard as she went to the floor.
I think even on the reach-in, too. It could have been all ball, but it seemed as if that was just a miss one on the baseline.
NC State's hit their last 3 shots from the field. That pass deflected out by FSU.
Camille Pierre with her 4th consecutive double-double. 7 double-doubles out of the last 8 games. I mean, how ridiculous are the numbers that she's been able to put up in her first year with the Wolfpack?
16 rebounds for her. Misses the shot there. 3 from the corner. Won't fall for Shavers. And Pierre's outlet pass was almost taken back by Shavers. Zoe from the right elbow. Oh, Pierre tried to knock that one home. Stolen by Brooks. And now Pierre got it. That gives her 11. So technically, now she has the double-double.
Okay, got it. Great.
You were looking at Brooks, who has 14 on the score sheet below her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're alone. In fairness,
Or I can see in the
like,
future.
You're about 8 feet away from her. And that's a more valuable trait to have. You have that skill. We're gonna stay here as Collier hits the deck.
NC State foul number 42.
Under 4.5 minutes to go.
Collier's second personal
Foul number 2 on Collier. Collier's going to stay in. Brooks is going to come out with Pierre. Rish scores.
Emma Rish.
I like to see in the future skill that you've developed tonight.
I mean, I thought it said 18. I could be completely wrong.
No.
I am a little.
Yeah, there's a water bottle in the way. There's all kinds of stuff.
That's what it says, though. Rebounds 18. I don't know. You know what? I'm just going to step outside of the
But your statement is completely accurate.
It is now.
That's all that matters. This is from Jernigan, who had a 3 back in the first half for the freshman. Tough shot for Burton. The other lone freshman from Florida State tried to answer.
Yeah, now it just feels like a pickup game. Not
It
much
does,
execution
yes.
going on for either team. And if you want to play pickup, I know for sure that Kaishi Lunan has a couple of skills that she can put on in the open floor.
And that's Soleil laying it in. This is normally, I've worked with you enough now, where your Rucker Park comment comes in.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Rucker Park, by the way, folks, look it up. You probably know.
a lot of history.
It's in what? It's
The best of the
technically
best?
Harlem, but actually it's north of Harlem. It's
Is it north of Harlem? I thought it was in I could be wrong.
It's right there on the last subway stop before you cross into the Bronx.
Maybe that's something I'm also seeing in the future.
I don't know.
Could be carryover.
But it's a place you got to go watch the basketball sometimes, folks, if ever you get that opportunity.
I was able to cover an actual tournament in Rucker Park called TBT on ESPN. It was so much fun to watch that being housed there and talking to
the freshman.
These are the minutes that you want to see. Like, okay, like if we put you in the game, what type of minutes will you provide us?
He's played 20.
We said it on the other side for Collier, Girton. Saying I got something left in the tank as well.
Noonan. Samuels knocks it down for the right wing. Cadence with her first bucket. By the way, Pierre with 18 rebounds. Most she's ever had in a conference game. Yeah. There you are seeing the future. You're starting to scare me a little bit.
Let's just say that.
Merton, does she have another one in her? Nope. Everybody takes a deep breath with about a minute and a half to go. It's North Carolina State turns it over, and Green takes it the other way for the easy lay-in. Tatum, 8 points. So NC State's going to improve to 16-7, 9-3 in conference. They've won 5 of their last 7. And have a game at Blacksburg on Sunday at noon here on ACC Network against Virginia Tech.
How about the schedule they have remaining? Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, Duke, all on the road. So important for them to finish with some momentum here on the floor. What a gauntlet of a road trip they have coming up.
They're going to wave this off. The officials are converging.
Let me think. What am I going to see here? It's going to be good.
Reminder that ACC women's basketball is presented by Ally, the bank that's your ally. In your crystal ball, did you see that we were going to have another video review before the game ended?
I did not.
Oh.
I did not.
That was 65 seconds left. We're going to have another review.
So we talked about what's coming up for NC
Previous
State.
play is under review to determine whether the shooter was in her motion prior to the foul on the defense.
You don't usually see this get reviewed. Doesn't happen very often.
No.
So it's the action down below with Treadwell and Collier where the foul is called. So that's why it's not like it was on the shooter or to the shooter Jernigan. So you had some distance between the shot and the foul.
And if the foul was committed before?
Before, correct.
The actual time.
After review, NC State player was not in her shooting motion. Therefore, the basket has been discounted. It will be NC State ball on the end line.
Hey, you're still getting chicken, folks.
I know. I mean, I don't know
You'll be all right.
so upset about.
It's been a good night for the Wolfpack fans.
I would say so.
Yeah. Florida State, by the way, next up for them is Miami on Sunday.
Oh.
Also on ACC Network.
I mean,
Extra.
They have Louisville still on the schedule. That's going to be on the 15th. And 2 other games. They have Stanford and Duke as well.
Collier Good defense by Treadwell, and now they tie it up, and the possession arrow belongs to Florida State.
How about Avery Treadwell for her first career double-double?
12 and 10, 12 points, 10 rebounds in her 24 minutes coming off the bench tonight.
It was huge for them, but in a lot of ways they have great room to grow. I mean, this is a team that lost 7 players that were very, very good. And a lot of different pieces that had to come in and play different roles, and being the #1 overall scoring offense a season ago, but getting new faces, getting transfers in, losing the #1 scorer in the nation. So they have some things that they have to work out, and I'm pretty sure with the staff and with Brooke Wyckoff, they'll have to do that in the portal and with the class they have coming in. But for NC State, having to continue to show what they have improved on the defensive end is very key, because Westmore told us offense is nice, but we understand defense is where we actually win the titles.
NC State came out on fire throughout the entire first half. Really in that 34-point first quarter. They never looked back. And now just a few seconds left. And that's going to end it. 83-55, NC State never trailed. They beat Florida State. And NC State gets their 9th conference win of the season.
Balanced, it looked great to see how Zamaria Jones was able to lead them in the first half and continued it in the second. What a night that she was able to put on, but it was down the line. Everybody stayed connected. I'm sure that Westmore is not pleased with the third quarter, but nonetheless happy with the win.
So Zam Jones finished with 25, just one shy of a career high. That led the way. She was one of 4 in double figures for NC State. It's going to take care of things here in Raleigh. For Angel Gray, our great crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one. Let's get you to the studio as Taylor, Liz, and Kelly will wrap up the night.
Oh, yes, it's ladies' night, and we're feeling right. Thank you so much for asking. We're doing really well over here. Taylor Tannenbaum alongside my dancing queens, former Clemson sharpshooter Kelly Gramlich and 3-time ACC Player of the Year at Virginia Tech, Liz Kitley. Welcome back to Nothing But Net. Back to the hardwood we go. Florida State at NC State. We talked about it before the game. Kelly, you wanted to see the Z's step up. Zam Jones, Zoe Brooks. I think we got that tonight in Raleigh.
Zam, 20 points in the first half. She was ready to go.
Jones, step back 3. This is essentially just the Zoe
Zam
Brooks.
highlight.
Yeah, Zam Jones highlight. There's another 3, 20 points in the first half, as you noted. State led by 29 at the break. Look, they put their foot on the gas, and they did not let it off. Jones again in the third quarter. This NC State team has potential, Liz, but they've got to play up to it.
They do, yeah, and it would be nice to see Zam Jones and Zoe Brooks both play this way on the same night. They would be a very, very hard team to beat.
Yeah, Camille Pierre, too, double-double. 18 rebounds for her as State cruises to the win.